I'll read. So, getting a bit disgruntled to say the least with Betfair Bot Manager. Turns out, if you've been reading Discord server, I might not have been making as much money as I thought on the dogs. I still haven't got to the bottom of the conundrum, but I'm going to look at it sometime in the next few days when I get a little bit more time. It seems to be over-reporting in the main screen, and then when you go into history, all the totals, if you add them up, don't come to anywhere near as much. Got a few clues to go on. So what I've done, I've just run up a trial of Fairbot. I've been meaning to have a look at Fairbot for some time now. So you can see I'm into day 4. I've just been trialing this software. I don't know a great deal about it. It's totally different to Betfair Bot Manager. It's more to do with markets, and then you can do automation, which I've done here. You can assign a strategy to the automation, the markets. It's like the other way around to Betfair Bot Manager, where you kind of your starting point is the strategy. And the strategy I've used, you can see, I tested it for a few days. Well, I didn't really test it. I had to play about with it in the first few days leading up to the start of October. And then yesterday, Sunday, the 1st of October, I ran it for real, and I made £81 on this strategy. So I'm going to show you what the strategy is. It's not my strategy, so I'm going to put some credit up here for the persons who it is, and somebody worth following. So it's a YouTube channel called Bet Your Life Sports Trading. Got 1.28, 1,280 something subscribers, 300 videos, and the guy, quite informative actually, but he does concentrate on Fairbot. If we go down here, all these videos, he does loads of different videos on strategies on Fairbot. It's this one here. You can see you can see the one I've watched using the Brucey bonus automated strategy, and I've watched that one as well. But I don't know why it's only showing the first part. So basically, what it does, it touches the player market. So if I go back into Fairbot, I'm not going to run through how the software works. I'm just going to show you the strategy and then what happened yesterday. So you can see this market list here. You put all the markets into this list for the day, or the ones you're interested in anyway. So this is every single race in GB and Ireland yesterday. You can see the country code there. So you put them in here, and then you assign each one a strategy. We're using this to drop down here. I've only got one strategy, which is a Brucey book called the Brucey bonus, which is the one from the video there. I suggest you watch the video as well, but effectively what it does, it's probably easier to show a race with a few horses. So if I show you this one here, what you can do, if I move this down a bit, you can double click on these markets in the market watch list, and it brings the market up here. And what we're doing here is we're putting a bet on every single horse except for the favourites. When I say favourites, it's a case of if there's 2 places, then we don't put a bet on the first 2 favourites. If there's 3 places, we don't put a bet on the first 3, and then 4 places as well. And here's the rules over here on the right hand side. And this is literally just copied straight from the video, with one exception of the YouTube video was placing a £100 bet, and I'm only placing a £5 bet because I'm just doing this to test it first. I was going to go with £10, but I thought £5 would be sufficient, just in case it all goes pear-shaped or tits up. And the only other thing is the video shows an 85% back price on the book, whereas I'm using 90, I think. Just have a look at that just to confirm. Yeah, I'm using less than 90. So what that means is it's working out that if we get one winner, then i.e. any one of the outsiders breaks in and splits the favourites, then with one winner you can get 2 or 3. You can get 4 if it's a 4-place race, and none of the first 4 favourites come in the top 4. You'll win an absolute bundle. I'll show you one race where I did win a lot of money yesterday as well. But it was a bit fortuitous, to say the least. So yeah, 90% here means if we're putting bets on every horse except for the favourites, it works out the percentage of the back odds, and if it's less than 90%, it's only at that point it'll place the bet. What that means in monetary terms or profit terms is that if we put a £10 bet on, we'll get 10%, minimum 10%. We should say about a 10% profit. It's going to be dependent on which horse gets in the place, because if it's a real outsider, you're going to get more money. If it's like the third favourite and there's two places, then you're going to get probably a lot closer to the 10%. So that means if you put a £10 bet on, you're going to win £1. If you put a £5 bet on, you're going to win 50p. Okay, so you're always looking for a minimum of 10% profit if we win. Obviously, the issue with this strategy is if the horses do finish 1-2 or 2-1 in the places, you're going to lose your whole stake, which is £5. So obviously, when you scale it, you've got to remember if you scale up to £10, you could lose £10. If you scale up to £100, which if you do watch the YouTube video, then that's how much he starts with. So if you do lose, you lose £100. But funnily enough, he didn't lose any £100 in the video. Whereas you can see down here, I've lost a £5, which I'll show you. So that's the rules there. Don't get too head up about all these different ones here. It's just he uses a different race status, based on whether it's a tape start or a stall start. So if it's a stall start, then he looks for the status of going behind this one here. If it's a tape start, he's looking for a status at the post. I don't fully understand that, but it's something to do with probably getting on the horses closer to the off than getting on them, and then there'd be a delay before the start. I think they're the closest status to the two different types of starts. Typically, the shorter races will have like a stall start where the horses go in the stalls, and then the longer races, don't know if it's a certain distance where they change, but they start off behind the tape and they just sort of set off in the longer ones. But then you can see you've got one rule for the 2 places, one different rule for the 3 places, and a different rule for the 4 places. Okay, so if I double clicked on that first one, then you can see it was the 1st of October, 1340 at Tipperary. Now, one thing I don't particularly like about this software is you can't see at a glance like the distance. You can't see it here in the market list, and you can't see it up here. The distance just doesn't seem to be in the title. Prefer to know whether it's a long or short race personally at a glance. I know it's not the be all and end all, but it's one thing I did notice. Now you can see these are in the sort order of Betfair. You can change the sort order as well here. I just leave them as on Betfair. And what you can see here is there's 3 winners because we're placing the bet on the place market to be placed. Now, typically those top 3 will be the 3 favourites because they're in the order of Betfair, but sometimes they switch around a little bit. But you can guarantee that a lot of these ones at the bottom are the outsiders. So you can see that the second favourite, loosely talking, the second favourite came in the top 3. The 4th favourite came in the top 3, and the 8th favourite, which is a bit of an outsider, well, a long shot there, came in the top 3. Can't see which one won the race, but we're not really bothered about that in this strategy. All we need to know is whether any of our horses we would have backed on. We didn't actually put a bet on this race because obviously it didn't fall under the 90%. So we weren't guaranteed profit if one of the favourites dropped out of the top 3, which it did in this case. There was 2 winners. You would have won money on this one, and you would have won money on this 8th horse as well. So if we go down and look at the next one, there's 15 horses in this race. If I just drag this down a little bit, you can see you only won on one of these if we'd put a bet on, which we didn't. So what I'm going to do is show you the first one where I did put a bet on, where I won 66 pence, which is quite close to, it's not quite 10%, it's a bit more than 10%, but it's reasonably close. And you can see here, on the right here, these grey ones are the ones that satisfied the conditions. You can see what it does, it tests the conditions and puts them in red or green. So you can see their number of places 2 is green, but then that one didn't apply because of the stall start. So this one was a stall start 0, and the post message was a 1. And then so put the bet on because the back price book percentage was 89.73, which is under our 90%. As you can see, what happened there is that the winner was the favourite, and then Gold West came in the top 2 as well. So both of these were in the top 2. If both of these had been in the top 2, we would have lost our bet. But you can, well, the whole stake. You can see here that we put a bet on this one. Actually, these 2 must have been the favourite because these are the 2 we didn't put the bet on. Not sure why it's at the bottom in 4th place. It might have been that the horses were switching around, but you can see this one was a favourite, so we didn't put a bet on that one. This one was a favourite, so we didn't put a bet on that one. And this one came in and we won £3.22, but then we lost £2.56 on there, which is where we got our 66 pence profit. So that's how it works. So if I'll show you this one first down here because it's more of a similar one to that, and then I'll show you the odd one. When I say odd, I won £82.50 on it, so I'm not complaining. Alright, so this one is a bit of a strange one as well because it looks, in to all intents and purposes, that we didn't have any winners at all there because the top 2. But what must have happened here was this switched around. This Let's Be Frank must have been this one here, the second one, must have been second favourite when Betfair put the horses on the market because they're normally in odds order. But it must have switched around with this horse here because we didn't put a bet on Strong Impact and we didn't put a bet on Let's Be Frank. You can see the 3 horses that we did put a bet on. So Let's Be Frank must have been second favourite when we put the bets on just before the off. But when Betfair put the horse list up, they've put this one second favourite, but they must have switched around before the off. So we put, you can see here, we put £2.07 on this horse. We put 87 pence on this horse, and we put 28 pence on this horse. That makes up our £5 stake. So when you're putting like loads less money on the outsiders because that was a real outsider to finish in the top 3. The top 2. And so with this horse coming in the top 2, we won £2.98, but then obviously we lost our 87 pence and our 28 pence there. So that gave us a profit of £1.48, you can see here. So now I'm going to show you this one where I won £82.50. And there was only 3 horses running. This was the Tipperary 1550. Now I didn't actually watch the race, but I thought, how the hell have I won £82.50 on that one? You can see here as well, the lowest I could have won was minus £5, which is my stake, and the maximum profit I could have won is £82.50, which is exactly what I did do. And it's because this outsider here got in the top 2. So it's a 3-horse race, so it's paying out on the first 2 places in the place market. And this one here was the favourite, and this one here was second favourite, and this one here was a right outsider, and this one come in the top 2. I think it comes second, and I think this one won. That doesn't really matter, but what does matter is when I looked at the odds, and this is quite bizarre for a 3-horse race, is this one, Zarek the Brave, and I haven't watched the race back, but I've looked at the results. Don't know if anybody did watch it, but Zarek the Brave was 8-1 on. So if you put £8 on, you would have won £1. This one here I can't remember the odds of that one. I really can't. I don't know if I even looked at it, but it won the race. This one here was 125 to 1 in a 3-horse race. To win the race, obviously to place would have been less. You can see there what it was to place. What happened in the race is the favourite here, the 8 to 1 on shot, pulled up. So these were the only 2 horses that finished. This one actually pulled up, which was, and I haven't seen it, but very fortuitous, because typically it would have went on and won. This one did come last, but we won because this one pulled up. So that was, I'd call very fortuitous in that one. So the last one I want to show you is this one down here, where we lost £5. And that was simply, you can see we've put a bet on these 3 horses here, and not one of them come in the top 2. And this is the risk on this strategy, is we lost the £5 there, which dips into if you exclude this outlier here of £82.50, we're winning on average there about £1 a race. So we have to win 5 races to win, say, £5. It were 10%, so 50p a race. It's not enough. So at the 10%, it's just not enough, because we'd have to win 10 at 50p. But yeah, we've averaged about £1. So we'd have to win 5 races minimum before we lost to 1. Otherwise, we'd not run a profit. You can see I did have one more race after that, and we won £1.67. So I'll show you that one. That's on this one, yeah. So we did have a favourite in the top 2, and we put a bet on these 5 here. And this one came in the top 2. So we won 576 minus that, minus that, minus that, minus that, which gives us a 167 profit. So you can see our total profit and loss for the day was 81.31. So that's my first foray into Fairbot. You can see I'm on day 4 of a 15-day trial. I'm going to run it for the next week or 2 with this strategy. Not sure what I think of it, to be honest. Not the software, the strategy. I mean, it's done well. I'm saying I'm not sure what I think of it after an £80 profit on a test strategy yesterday. I'm not expecting that every day. Certainly not expecting that every day. I'll probably expect more of these, to be honest. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bets on there, and I lost 1. That's probably not enough to continually make a profit. So I'm on the fence about this one at the moment. I'm going to run it again today and tomorrow. Well, I'm going to run it the next few days, probably the next week or so at least. Probably until the trial runs out, because I'm not going to sit and do any other strategies on it for the minute. I'm just sort of playing around with the software and seeing what it can and can't do. I should really try some of the strategies, but I just don't have the time at the moment. But that's the one I'm going to run with, because you have to come in each morning as well and clear this day out and add the new day in and things like that. It's not fully automated in the same respect as Betfair Bot Manager. But I hope that's given you a little insight into Fairbot. I don't know if any of you guys use it. Stick something in the comments. I'll get on the Discord server. I think I'll put a channel up for the Fairbot software and maybe this strategy. And if you do like the video, please subscribe. All helps the channel. And also do get over onto this other channel here, the Bet Your Life Sports Trade, and have a look at these 2 videos that I've just done my video on, and also have a look at some of the other videos, because there's some interesting trading strategies on here over and above the Dutchan one I've just shown you. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers now. Bye.